Hey everybody, it's time to pull up a chair, take a breath, and listen in. I'm your host, Mary Fina, and this is the Take Your Seat podcast where women's stories spark possibility. Today we're sitting down with Hannah and Isabel as we look back on their first year of engineering, the surprises, the challenges, the lessons, and everything in between. This episode is supposed to be an unfiltered reflection of what it really feels like to navigate your first year of uni. So, welcome, guys!
So excited to be here, and we're just gonna get right into it with our part one reflections.
Super pumped to be here. You know, we've learned so much this year, and it'll be great to pass on some of what we've learned. Some things we've learned the hard way.
For the listeners, Isabel and Hannah were the first year representatives for women in engineering alongside me, so we've bonded throughout the year. I'm going to get you guys to describe your first year of engineering in one word, and I'm going to get you to explain why as well.
For me, it was like a roller coaster for real.
Roller coaster.
I experienced every emotion under the sun this year. Feelings I didn't even know were there. It's just been
honestly.
Such a whirlwind, ups and downs, the highs, the lows. I've learned so much. There was such good moments, such good energy from others, and going out and meeting new people. I never really had social anxiety really before. I never used to struggle to put myself out there, but I don't know, especially living in halls, because I was in halls this year.
Yeah.
Just putting yourself out there and attending every single thing that's on and meeting all these new people. It's so surreal.
There's a lot of things going on in first year. You kind of have to take it all in. I don't know how many people felt that too, but I'm pretty sure for me as well. Yeah. Roller coaster could describe.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Hannah, especially what you said about living in halls. I also lived in halls, and so many opportunities and to meet new people and just to do all sorts of fun stuff. And I think to add to that, I'd say the one word to describe my first year would be unforgettable. You know, there was heaps of highs and lows, but the highs were super high, and you know, I learned so much, about myself, and then also through my degree and stuff. Yeah.
Talking about the roller coaster, what type of surprises did you guys find throughout the year? What did you not expect? Obviously, there's going to be expectation versus reality.
Honestly, the workload of first year and balancing everything. I don't know. I feel when I was in high school, I did a lot of extracurriculars and sports and arts and that kind of stuff. And I thought I could balance things really well. But when I came here, it was I had to balance the halls, the academics, meeting new people.
That's so true.
And it was just I thought I was capable of balancing, but I didn't know how tough it would be.
Yeah, that's so true. I thought I could time manage, and then bam, I couldn't time manage all of a sudden. I was oh my gosh. I mean, that's the reality of it though, right? Because you don't expect university to be such a big step. Did you guys feel that? There was such a different...
Honestly, finishing school, I thought I was so ready to move on. I was I'm so ready to start new. I'm so over school. And then when I came, I was oh my gosh, maybe I'm not so ready.
Yeah,
it's
so
just
true.
a big jump. And coming back to the whole time management thing, I think it becomes a lot harder because the lines all get blurred between, you know, home life and school life and social life. So because they're all sort of merged into one, especially living at halls, you know, you're with your friends all the time. You're going to lectures together. You're doing, you know, your study together, and then you're doing your fun stuff together and all that. So I think that just makes it a bit more difficult, eh?
Would you say though that engineering this year was overall a positive experience still, regardless of...
Yeah, for sure.
100%. I have no regrets. Why it does make it a bit more difficult, but at the same time, it's so rewarding. I had such a great time.
Yeah. Let's just talk about that difficult part. What is difficult about engineering? When people, for example, let's say we have listeners from high school, what is so difficult about engineering and what might throw them off at first?
For me, it wasn't just the engineering. I think it's university as a whole different thing as high school. Just transitioning, because it's such a different way of learning. It's not I feel in high school you would just you were fed the information, you knew exactly what was going to be assessed, and you just do all the past papers. But uni's so different. I swear in high school, I just like learnt the answers to like
No, that's so
exam questions. But like
true.
now you have to learn the
Yeah.
content and like you
Yeah.
actually have to understand
Yeah.
everything.
That was like one of the main points I had like written down was that the entire structure of like learning is completely different.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Like, we need to tell them in high school, you do get fed a lot of the information. If you did NCA in New Zealand, we do the NCA curriculum. Oh, most of us, right? Did you guys do NCA?
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
did NCA? Yes? Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So you guys know what NCA is. And NCA works as if like they give you model answers, and literally for any exam, if you understand those model answers, it's just like,
Mm.
Yeah.
And you
but
don't even understand them. Like it's just
yeah,
memorizing them.
exactly.
I didn't
It's a
even understand half of it.
big step. I think that's what makes it a big step, because first of all, you have to learn it quite independently, and then you also have to be for real with yourself. Like, if you don't
Yeah.
understand something, you don't understand something.
That it's just like the pace as which you
Yeah.
have to learn these things. Like you're learning at such a fast pace compared to high school. Like
Yeah.
we would do one topic in like a whole term. Like we were doing
Yeah.
mechanics for like the whole term, and then like it's like a modular week here.
Was there ever a time that you guys doubted like whether you're meant to be there? Like, did you ever doubt yourself, your capabilities?
I'm probably like I always was like pretty set on engineering and like what I
Yeah.
wanted to get out of it. So I don't think I really thought that I was going to drop out, but that doesn't mean to say that it was all like, you know, cupcakes
Smooth
and
sailing.
rainbows.
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think just like keeping your eye on the end goal of what you actually want to get out of the degree
Yeah.
definitely like helps you through it.
Yeah, I think same for me. Like at the end of high school, honestly, like I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and I just did engineering because I was like maths and physics. I feel like I
Yeah,
kind of like
a
those.
lot of high school students come out of high school because they're good at
Yeah,
maths and physics. They go for engineering.
yeah,
Would you
that
say
was
that
like
was a
me.
good path for you? Do you think that you
Yeah,
would
well,
recommend it?
I feel like honestly, the more I've experienced this year, the more I've like become more secure in that decision. And I know that like engineering, I picked the right thing. And like,
Yeah.
yeah. So I feel like I know a lot of people that do think engineering is like not for them after this year, and that's like totally
Yeah.
fine because
Yeah, valid.
we have so
Honestly,
many
valid.
options and it's so easy to like change. But I think for me, I don't know, it's just made me more secure in my decision because I was very
Yeah.
indecisive at the end of high school.
A lot of people in high school, they also think that, you know, once you decide your degree, like that's it. But like actually, I've
Yeah.
met so many people that after the first, you know, week or first semester or first year, they've like completely changed degrees or like
Yeah.
pathways. And like that's also like completely normal. So if you're feeling like a bit
Exactly.
unsure about your decision, just like go for it anyway is my advice. You can always switch out or try something new.
You have so much liberation when you get to university. So do what you feel is right. And then if that changes, then pivot. If there was a time where you like had a really difficult time in engineering, what are some things you tell yourself?
Honestly, like I really enjoyed semester one because those were like the courses that I think I am more like for. Like I liked the mechanics course in Gem 121, and I liked calculus, so the 111 course. And then in semester two, I was doing courses that I didn't really like chem mat and like that stuff. It just wasn't really
Yeah,
for
so that was
me.
a struggle.
Yeah, so then during that, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is so bad. So I kind of had to thug it out, and I just like remembered that because first year is so general, and like we're not going to be doing some of these papers
Yeah,
in
you're never gonna
our
do it
spec.
again.
Yeah, in our
Exactly.
spec. So I was like, okay, I just need to get through this, like
Yeah.
to get to the second year, so where I can go into the stuff that I enjoy.
Yeah,
I just
sometimes
have to
you
get through the bad
really
stuff.
just have to look at the bigger picture
Yeah, definitely.
and see the end of the tunnel. Keep your eyes on the prize type of beat.
Yeah, so it's the same for exams, right? Like no one enjoys exam season. Well, like
100%.
maybe
no
if
one
you're like
enjoys it.
crazy and you love taking exams or something, but like no one does.
In our cohort, there's some people in our cohort that might just say that, you know.
Yeah, but be so for real. We were all in exam season, and we were all at some point like, like can't do this anymore. Like, but no, like
Don't
you just
fear
have to
exam
thug it
season,
out.
though.
Yeah,
Don't fear it. Just like learn how
Just
to grit
prepare
your
for it.
teeth. Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
they'll give you time, although that time might be short, but I feel like
but it's
try your
also it's
best, you
temporary.
know.
Like
Yeah,
it'll all be
exactly.
over soon.
It will
Yeah.
pass. The
Yeah,
storm will
Exactly.
pass. And
So I
look at
did
us
have
on the
to
other
plan it
side
out.
right now doing other projects.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
Keeping
when
your
you
eyes on the
just
bigger
like
picture.
when you get caught up in your head like that, it's really just good to take a step back and realize, this is 1 week or this is one assignment from one
Yeah.
course out of 1 year of a 4-year degree, which is going to lead to
Yeah.
something even more. So like in the
Yeah.
grand scope of things, it's like some tiny minuscule like week or whatever, but
Yeah.
yeah, like at the end of the day, yeah, are you going to remember this time in like a few years? Probably not.
What study techniques or time management techniques did you guys implement to help you out with, getting through this thugging it out pretty much?
Like when I was in high school, I thought that like the only study was like practicing the past papers and like just doing them until you memorize them and just keep going. Like in high school, I would do like all of them from like 2007 or something. Like before I was born, I was like, what am I doing? But I think what I've realized is that it's a really ineffective study technique. Like, you are not learning the content by doing the practice exams. Yeah, like practice is good, but you shouldn't go straight into the practice exams if you don't even know the content. Because even at
Appreciate
uni,
Hannah.
like we barely have any practice papers to practice on.
They
They give
don't
us like
release
maybe
any.
2 or something.
Yeah.
So it's really, I think it's good to use those when you already understand the content and want
Yeah.
to practice it for real. But I think
Yeah.
study technique, probably just making sure you understand the content and breaking it up into like smaller modules where you can practice the specific like problem,
Topics,
if that makes sense. Yeah.
problems. Yeah,
So
yeah.
like not just going straight for the
Yeah.
practice tasks.
Yeah. Such a good point to talk about that, honestly. Like, because that is such a big thing that I also see in high school students, and I saw in myself. So, bad habit, try to unlearn that.
I would just say probably like preparing for it in advance. Like I would 100% recommend to every first year getting one of those like full size calendars with the entire year on it and putting all your due dates in. And so you can sort of plan your study, if you have like a really heavy week of assignments, you can say like, oh, I'll do a bit more study on this week. And then that just means like when you get to exam season, you're revising, you're not learning, because that is a mistake that I've seen quite a few people make.
Block
And
it.
it is not a nice place to be at when you're a week before the exam going, I have no clue what's going on.
Definitely a digital girly, and I like capitalized on Apple Calendar.
100%.
I don't know,
I
like
do Notion calendar.
yeah, or like Notion or like some other app,
Yeah.
like because then you can just put in the dates as they come through. And
Yeah.
also, it's not just for like study; it's for everything. If you're like working, if you're like
Yeah,
catching up
yeah,
with
yeah.
friends, like
You can
you have
color code that. You can
everything
color
in
code
one.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are study techniques. How about for lecture style teaching as opposed to like classroom teaching? What big difference did you guys notice when we came from classroom style to lecture style, bigger cohort, lots of people, faster pace?
Yeah.
What helped you, do you think, when you went to lectures? Or did you even go to lectures? Do you recommend going to lectures?
Honestly, I go to lectures, but for some people that doesn't work and they're better online. But in high school, it was used to like learn the content and then like practice it straight after, like, and the teacher would come and like help you. But it's so different in uni because they just bombard you with all this content in like the 1
Don't
hour
scare
slot.
them. Like, no, if we can
That
do
was
it,
a jump
anyone
scare
can
for
do
me.
it, honestly. But anyone can do that.
And like after the second week, I think we'd all started getting into like the rhythm of like
Yeah,
this was the
definitely.
pace and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, the first week is definitely like a bit scary. Yeah, because of like just a massive info dump, but like don't stress, like you'll find a way to work through it and stuff.
Everyone is going through the same thing. And I feel like in engineering, it's such a theme
And you
for
like
our
bond
cohort.
through the struggle,
Trauma bonding is the correct wording
Yeah.
for that. Honestly, that's so true. So if you find, if you compare yourself with someone, know that they're going through the same thing. Did you ever compare yourself to people, guys?
Living at halls, especially like with engineers, you're with them like 24/7. And like they know everything and they're like, what did you get on this assignment? Like I got this. And you just like can't escape it because like, you live with them.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I definitely went through that, like comparing myself to some of the people that like they would study non-stop, like 24/7, didn't really do anything else. And I just had to like bring myself back to earth and be like, okay, I have like a balance. It's
Yeah.
okay. Like,
Yeah.
move on. You
Yeah.
can't dwell on this. And like, definitely, you cannot compare yourself to other people because like
Yeah, and
Exactly.
I think
you're
it just
just like,
comes back to like keeping your eyes on your own goals. Like everyone's on
yeah,
different paths and everyone wants to get different things out of the degree. Yeah, some
for
people want to get like
sure.
the top grade. Some people want to,
Yeah. First in course award.
yeah, some people want to have, their grades slip a little but have those extracurriculars. Some people want to have a balanced life. So like you can't even compare to other people because
Yeah,
you're all on different paths. You all
Yeah.
have
And
different
different
goals.
paces, 100%.
for
Exactly. Yeah.
sure.
So I'd just say just stay focused on like your own goals and like
Is
all
this what
that
you
sort
tell
of
yourself,
stuff.
Isabel? Or like, do you compare yourself, Isabel? Or are you like,
I mean, I think I definitely have to agree with Hannah, like living in halls, it is
Mm,
so hard to escape because I think to an extent that's what like everyone else is like trying to like gauge as well. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
if you're
it's,
yeah,
doing
yeah.
okay.
yeah,
I guess you just have to like really lock in to what you want.
Like,
And
it's
yeah,
hard.
yeah,
It's hard not to compare yourself, especially in halls when you are
yeah,
surrounded by like people who are just like you. But you just need to like remember that they also have stuff going on in their life. And like you don't know, they might seem like picture perfect, like I have all these perfect grades, like happy, happy, but you
yeah,
don't
yeah,
know. They
yeah.
might be like crying in their room every night. Like you
Yeah,
have
and they
no
might be
idea.
sacrificing 24 hours of their day. You never
Yeah,
know. Yeah.
exactly. Like you can't
Yeah,
compare
you can't
yourself
judge. Yeah.
because you
You
have
really just
no
have to be
idea.
like focused.
And I will say, just coming back to that, like you can definitely find people who aren't like that. Like I ended up finding like this amazing group of girls who also did engineering, and like we would never compare grades. That was like the big no. We would never
Yeah,
talk about it.
Like it's like an unspoken rule with
it
our friend
is.
group that we don't tell each other unless like we ask or like there's like an agreement that we're gonna tell each other. We don't. And that's
Yeah,
so real. Does that help with your comparison, I guess? Like it does help, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
say so. And like it also makes it less of a competition because like at the end of the day, I don't think it should be a competition in the first place,
Yeah.
but it is a bit of a competitive degree. But you just don't want that, especially with your friends. Like
Yeah.
you don't want it ruining
Yeah.
those friendships or anything like that.
Yeah.
Engineering's a much more collaborative
Yeah.
degree, like in
Definitely.
a sense that like when you're studying or learning concepts, like everyone
Yeah.
is like crowding around, like, helping each other out.
Yeah, and I find everyone is so happy to help. Like, I feel
Yeah,
Mm.
like
I've
if
exactly.
seen
I'm
no
like
one is
stuck on a
gatekeeping the
problem,
answers, which is great.
yeah, I just like ask someone
100%.
like, oh my gosh, I can like explain this to you. Like, literally the day of our electricity exam, I didn't know one of these like concepts. And like one of the guys at Halls just came and like explained, used up his morning of the exam to explain it to me.
Yeah.
Everyone is just so willing to help,
Yeah.
which is so nice,
Yeah.
like relative to
I love that
medicine or
about
something like that, where they're like
engineering.
low-key about to sabotage each other.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard stories actually from that. Sorry to compare to medical school, but engineering is just way better in that aspect because we don't steal each other's notes or
yeah,
whatever. We even
Yeah.
share our notes, I reckon.
yeah,
Yeah.
Just tracking back on your friends and stuff, how did you guys balance your workload and your life? Like personal life, social life?
yeah, it was definitely something I had to learn as it went, because I obviously thought I was like really good at balancing or something. But when I came here, I was like,
Humbled.
because especially living at halls, it was like I wanted to do well academically, but also I didn't want to like waste opportunities of like living at halls and making the most of that. So it was like a really weird balance of what to
Yeah.
prioritize. And then I like kind of found that I don't need to like prioritize something in particular. I just need to balance. I
Yeah.
think something that's really beneficial with that is studying with your friends because that's like
Mm,
social
you
and
yeah.
helps you with your
You
studies.
get both, which
Mm.
is nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I also think for engineering, it's so important to study as a group because
You get to
I think,
explain
yeah,
concepts and stuff.
And I think like another good thing about like studying with groups is that while it's also good to like ask questions and stuff when you don't know a topic, it's also so beneficial to explain topics to other
Yeah.
people as well. Like
Fame and technique.
exactly. So yeah, I definitely would recommend that. And yeah, for like time management, for me, I'm such a planning person, bro. I have my calendar out like every day. I was scheduling things in,
Girl, my
but
calendar
like
would send
that's,
someone in a heart attack.
but yeah, that's like, that was just like me. That's what worked for me. And yeah, because what I did was on my big like year long calendar, which I could see all at once, I could see like the heavier assessment heavy weeks, like
Yeah,
months
100%.
before they happened. And so I could sort of see, oh yeah, I haven't got as many things due this week. I'm going to do all these like activities that I've been wanting
Such an
to do around
organized girl.
Auckland and stuff. And like just sort of worked it around like that. Like obviously that's not going to work for everyone, but I do
Yeah.
find that's something that helped with me.
Yeah, but I guess keeping organized is so important. You need to keep in mind your responsibilities because you did choose it. So that's,
Yeah.
yeah, I do that
And
too.
also factoring rest. Like, it's so important because I felt like
I
at a
schedule my
point,
rest on my calendar, guys.
yeah, at a point I was like, if I'm not studying, I need to be socializing at halls. If I'm not doing that, I need to be like going to the gym. But like, you need time for yourself and to just like
Yeah. Just
sleep
nothing.
and like,
Just
yeah,
nothing. Like,
nothing.
don't have
Like,
expectations of yourself for like an hour of the day or something like that. Or
yeah,
more,
you just
more
need to
honestly.
take a break because it does catch up on you, and then you
Yeah.
just get so burnt out.
I'm so glad that you guys shared that. Is there any more, wisdom that you'd like to pass on to our future first years? Anything that you guys might have thought of and I've not mentioned?
I think, okay, when you like get into your first year, I think you just have so many expectations and like ideals of what it's going to be like. And really, like, you're seriously going to go through so many it's like literally a roller coaster, as I say. Like, so many different emotions, so many different feelings. There's going to be highs, there's going to be lows. But you just need to remember that, like, everyone is also experiencing that. And I know it's like cringe, but like, you're not alone in that sense. Like, everyone is feeling the
Yes.
same way.
You're
Like,
on your same
yeah,
boat.
I thought I was like crazy. I was like, oh my gosh, like, if I'm not studying, I need to be socializing, then I need to go to the gym, like, I need to do all this. And I was just like so caught up in my like all these different things I needed to balance. And I was like stressed about specializations, my grades, like, I also live in Auckland, so I was like, maybe I need to go home and see my family. And there was just so much to like balance, but everyone is in the same boat and everyone
Yeah.
is feeling like that. Everyone's overwhelmed with the work, everyone's like stressed socially, like if they should
Yeah.
go to all these social events or not. There's so much going on that like I know it's like hard, but you just have to like take it all in and like breathe.
Yeah.
Take a moment to
Yeah.
yourself as well and just like enjoy the experience and the ride along the roller
Yeah.
coaster. Like,
And maybe remove all that like expectation, Just
yeah, and just
take
like
it as it
live.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, live.
Mm.
Take it as it is. Take it step by step, day by day, But
Yeah,
obviously have some
definitely.
foresight with, the
And
future,
like
your future
talk
assignments.
about it. Talk about it with your friends because like
Yeah.
everyone's in the same boat and everyone's feeling
Yeah.
that. I remember
Yeah, that helped a lot.
I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm the only one feeling like this. Like, it's crazy. But then I also started getting really anxious about like also, yeah, your first test. I was so anxious
It's
that like
such a
whole
big
day.
deal.
First test
I
was
don't know why. I was like the most anxious I've
Yeah.
ever felt. And I was like, why do I feel like this? I usually am like pretty good at taking tests and stuff. Like, I've done it so many
Yeah.
times in school. But then
So real.
I talked about it with some of my friends from halls and they were all feeling the same way. And it was just so like validating for me. I was like, wow, like
Yeah.
I'm not by myself. This
Yeah.
is like a universal experience.
Yeah.
that was definitely same with me. Like my first test, that statics test for 121.
Yeah,
Yeah,
mechanics.
so
Yeah.
nervous.
Yeah.
But I mean, to contrast that, like the last test or like the last exam I did, it just felt like another day. Like you get used to it after a while.
Yeah.
And
You
I think I
do.
could probably speak for like all of us here. Like as we did more and more tests and more exams, we got less nervous about it each
Yeah, we
time.
Yeah,
did.
definitely.
We did. You get used to the feeling for sure. You do.
Yeah. But it's okay to be anxious like that first time because everyone
Yeah,
is. Like,
100%.
it's your first
It's a
uni
canon
test.
event. It's a
Yeah.
canon event. Just experience it. Live it. Like, just go through it. It's okay.
This is like not deep compared to what we've been talking about at all, but I did think this is something that I would have loved to know like before I started engineering, is that don't bring your graphics calculator. it's useless. Go buy a scientific calculator.
Yeah,
I didn't
restricted
know that before
calculators.
I
Yeah.
came, actually. And I brung my graphics calculator, not my scientific. You're not
Yeah.
allowed the graphics calculators in the tests
Yeah.
or exams. And
Yeah,
then
in the
they
University
sell
of
out
Auckland, you're
of the
not allowed.
Yeah,
scientific
and it's better
calculators
to
pretty quick.
practice like with the scientific calculator
Yeah.
instead of relying on your graphics one.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
such a little facet, but it is so important because people
Yeah.
spend their money on that calculator and then bang, they don't even let
I
us have it.
know. So yeah, that's my 2 cents. Bring a scientific
Yeah.
calculator, guys.
I love that. We're nearing the end of the episode here. I just want to ask you guys, how do you hope to grow as a woman in this field, this very male-dominated field?
I think coming into engineering, the like male-dominated field was something that I was quite anxious and like concerned about. And I remember like on my first day, I didn't realize that everyone had put woman-only tutorials for 121 because like that's like an option. You can like pick woman only. Yeah. But I didn't. And in my tutorial, there was like one other girl and only me in like a group of, I don't know, like 25. And I was like, oh my goodness. I was so scared and I felt like a bit out of place. And I think after that experience, like I was so, I don't know, I just like felt really upset and like down on myself in that experience. But since then, I think I've grown already so much as a woman and like found my place and like who I am. And it's made me more like becoming more secure and like why I'm in engineering and like I deserve to be there. I think even just in this first year, I've grown so much.
Yeah.
And I think that I'm definitely going to grow heaps more in my degree as a woman.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I'd definitely say the same thing. Like for one of the clubs I was in, like oftentimes I was like, I'd be the only girl in the meeting and like the youngest there as well. And so that was like always like very like daunting to step into at first. Like, don't get me wrong, they're all so lovely and like so keen to like, help
Yeah.
out and have a chat
Yeah.
and all that sort of stuff. But it's definitely like, like you do feel a bit out of place when you step into those rooms. So I definitely feel you on that one, Hannah. So
Yeah.
yeah, a lot more representation would be nice. And I think like for me, growth looks like just helping the next generation who are like the next generation of girls who are
Yeah.
coming through doing engineering. Like I've been lucky enough to, have so many like I would almost go so far as to say like great mentors, of like older, well like not older, but like engineers who are like further along in their journey than me and have already like been through
Yeah.
this, whether that's like students or actual engineers in the field, etc. And so keeping that cycle going,
Yeah.
and
'Cause
helping
we've come
the next lot
we've
come
come
through.
far, I reckon, but we're just not there yet. And I think that's a mission for all women in engineering who, are aware of this, to try and keep that cycle of inspiration going.
Yeah, I think like we need to remind ourselves like we're there for a reason and we deserve to be there. And we
100%.
shouldn't like what
Yeah.
the other boys or like
Yeah.
what they say
Yeah.
about us put us down because at the end of
Yeah.
the day, we deserve to be there as much as them.
Exactly.
To any like girl out there who's like high achieving and doing engineering, like, like own your achievements. Like, I don't know about you guys, but the amount of like really intelligent girls I've talked to doing
Yeah.
engineering, they're almost like too humble about it. When you consider the male counterparts who are doing the same, and this is just a generalized statement, like obviously
Yeah.
everyone's different, but they're a lot more, out there and putting themselves out there, making it known about their achievements and having them celebrated. So I would say, just like own it. If you're smart, like, yeah.
So, last question for you guys today. What's something that you would like to pass on to our first year?
I think if you're listening to this before you into your first year, I just know you're like filled with all these like expectations and like worries, and you're just so intrigued as like what this year is gonna be like. I know I was the same, and so were my friends. It was like uncertainty, like we didn't know what it was gonna be like. But I think it's good to be like that and like excited for a new change, but also don't let those expectations like dictate what the year's gonna be like for you, if that makes sense. Like you make it how you make it. Don't be
Yeah.
afraid to put yourself
Just
out there
don't
in
be
like an
afraid.
academic setting, but also in like a social setting
And
as
claim your
well.
spot, take your
Yeah.
seat. take your
Yeah.
seat, guys.
And just get involved with everything that's to come, because there's so much is going to come your way. And just like be there for the ride.
I think to sort of add to that, just enjoy the process.
Yeah.
Like it might feel long at some points or tedious, but like enjoy it. It comes once in a lifetime, and you'll look back and, you know, you'll only be able to see the good times, really.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me in the first ever official episode of Take Your Seat. I'm so glad to have you guys as my first guest. It was really nice to have a chat with you and this was our official debrief of our year, guys. So I'm really happy to talk to you all about it.
Thank you for
I hope
having
you
us. It was
enjoyed.
so
Yeah,
exciting, like
awesome.
sharing our experience. And I'm so excited for the listeners who are starting first year. Like you're gonna have such a good time. And
Yeah.
it's honestly been one of the best years of my life. Like it's been so good.
Yeah.
And just like be excited for it. But thank you so much.
Thank you for our listeners for tuning in to the Take Your Seat podcast. I'm so glad that you're here, and I hope you were able to take something away from today's episode. I really hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye!